Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go three abreast. It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a breath. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It's MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength and by Grunt Style. We are so glad you joined us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. And today, a great program because Austin McCarl scored his career first Knoxville win. And Daryn Pittman, he got back to victory lane not once, but twice. So a big, big weekend for those drivers. And Erin Evernham alongside Erin. I think it's a big weekend for all of us because we had results for a change and not rain.
Yeah, that was awesome. Finally, Mother Nature cooperated. And yeah, like I said, we're going through results and there was stuff to see. You know, in weeks past, it's been blank and boring. So a great weekend for sprint car racing. Great
weekend for sprint car racing and a lot of great stories. And let's cover a couple of those great stories. We call them our classic ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. And we're going to talk to Austin, and we're going to talk to Daryn. So we'll leave those two guys aside because there were some other stories along the way.
Great stories.
How about Danny Smith?
Incredible.
This is the most incredible thing. Okay, he won the USCS race at Crossville, Tennessee on Friday night. Okay, 44 consecutive years that he has won an A-main in sprint cars.
That is so awesome. And he's such a good person. I mean,
there's the thing on top of it.
Yeah.
But 44 years. This started in 1974.
Wow.
That's insane to win races. Now, there was a couple years ago, he was like in October or November when he got one.
Getting nervous.
Now he just goes out there and wins a couple of March or April races and just goes the rest of the year. So congratulations to Danny. I just think it's fantastic. And you're right. He is a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
He got me on his April Fool's joke this year, though.
He did.
Okay, so April Fool's, he announced this big race at Mansfield.
Yeah.
He announced he's going to have a second car with Steve Kinzer. Okay,
I did.
April's Fool was on a Sunday.
Easter Sunday, yep.
I took the day off from social media, okay? And I knew it's April Fool's.
Yeah.
I woke up on Monday the 2nd thinking it's not April Fool's. And I went, what, huh? And I hit the button, and I'm like, oh, no. And it was posted 16 hours ago. And I said, and so I'm like, quick erase. And somebody jumped on me. And so, darn you, Danny Smith. But anyhow, he's a good guy. He's a great guy. Speaking of big winners, how about up in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
You know, in Pennsylvania, we have the DeWeese, we have the Dietrich, we have the Hodnett, we have the mainstays.
Yep.
I think we're going to have to start looking at Brock Zierfoss in that category.
He's definitely getting to be in that level.
He really is. This past week, he won at both Williams Grove and Port Royal. He's the reigning Port Royal track champion, won against the Outlaws last year. All of a sudden, there's a new name up there.
Yep.
He's not the sheriff, okay? Kreitz is still, or DeWeese is still, Kreitz is the sheriff, DeWeese is the deputy, okay? But they're going to have to go through Brock Zierfoss to get some wins up there, too. And that's good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few young guns up there.
There really are. Freddie Raymer's up there. Freddie Raymer's up there doing well and everything.
Two podium finishes, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. So great stuff up in Pennsylvania. And how about this one? This one broke last night. And I was so happy to read this. Mark Dobmeyer has I put down here returns. He really never went anywhere, but there was potential he was going to go somewhere. What he's doing is Dobmeyer was out of the Jimco team. Okay. The Buffalo Wild Wings team was out. And Dave Lundstra's team was out. So we're talking, and I had one of our fans on Facebook sent me a note and says, I'm depressed because of A, B, and C. And I'm like, okay, well, Dobmeyer took A, B, and C, bundled them all up, and now everyone's happy. He is purchasing the assets from the Buffalo Wild Wing car. Okay. Buffalo Wild Wings itself is going to be a sponsor on the team. Dave Lundstr is going to be a sponsor, and he's got Dahlstrom Motors, which they've been with Dobmeyer forever. And he's building his own team, Team 13 Racing. And Mark Dobmeyer is back in business. He will make his debut Friday, May 11th at River City Speedway for a NOSA race.
I mean, like you said, that was 3 teams that were possibly exiting the sport for good.
Yeah.
So now they're all staying involved.
Yeah. We can talk about we've lost we've lost 2 teams.
Yeah.
Okay, but prior to Dobmeyer putting this together, they were gone. Gone.
Yeah.
Exactly. Done. Out. So we kind of were able to rescue him from the fire.
Yep, keep him in.
Kudos to Mark Dobmeyer for putting this together, and kudos for him for the. I'm telling you what he's doing. I mean, he's building a shop. He's building a team himself. I mean, that is an endorsement of the sport of sprint car racing that Mark Dobmeyer has taken that on himself to do that. So a tip of the cap to Mark. But that's what we've seen. It's the Brian Brown model. It's the Greg Wilson model. It's the
Jason Johnson.
Exactly.
And it's a lot of work, but they seem to make it work.
Exactly. So great stuff. Hey, we need to step away. Okay, there you have it. Those are your Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. ClassicInkUSA.com. That's www.classicinkusa.com. Our Sage Fruit guest list: Austin McCarl and Daryn Pittman, and we'll talk to Austin in just a moment.
O'Reilly. Defend your vehicle from harmful elements and restore shine with Armor All canister wipes. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up Armor All canister wipes for $3.99. Easily remove dirt, dust, and grime with Armor All canister wipes on sale for $3.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa is proud to announce their feature exhibit for 2018, the Salute to Champion Brian Clausen. Open May 1st through October 1st. See the race cars Brian Clausen drove during his illustrious racing career and the trophies, uniforms, and memorabilia Brian amassed while driving sprint cars, midgets, Indy cars, and NASCAR. The Salute to Champion Brian Clausen exhibit, only at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, located in Turn 2 at Knoxville Raceway.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
Hi, this is Jack Hodenshield, and you're watching Wing Nation on MRN.com.
Welcome back. How about Jack?
I know.
Rolling
back in victory
I'm
lane.
telling you what, they about tore Attica down when Hodenshield wins up there. Oh, my God. So, hey, congratulations to Jack as well, getting that all-star win. We had an old broadcaster with MRN. Name was Dick Brooks. He's no longer with us, former driver. And one of his catchphrases was when they would go down after the race win, there's a whole bunch of happy people down here. Well, I think Saturday night on the Marion County Fairgrounds, there was a whole bunch of happy people because for the first time in his career, Austin McCarl parked it on the front stretch in Victory Lane, and he joins us now on the hotline. Austin, welcome to Wing Nation, and congratulations.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Well, tell us about your race Saturday night.
It was a good one. We were fortunate the way we qualified, and we won our heat race, and the way the points shook out, and they ended up drawing an 8 for an invert, and ended up putting us on the front row, and fortunately enough, I was able to take advantage of it and come home with the win.
Austin, when you started on the pole, you had a great lead, and you had a few reds and yellows come out. What were your emotions like? Did you want to keep running because you had great momentum, or were you happy to see those breaks and get the field bunched back up?
No, honestly, I wanted it to go nonstop, especially when I got through heavy traffic pretty well. I felt like I got through them at a decent pace, and a couple of times I got held up a little bit, and I didn't see anybody or hear anybody behind me. And like I said, I mean, you just drive as hard as you can, and you know, sprint cars, we don't know who's behind us or what. Knoxville competition is so tough, you just kind of assume that any little mistake and somebody's going to try and take advantage of it. But no, that first red came out, and I had just gotten by a couple of cars in traffic, and I really did not want to see that. And then, you know, you get a good restart, and you go a couple more laps, and there was another one, and then another one, and you're just like, oh, my gosh, you just want to see Doug throw the white flag so bad. So, no, I definitely wanted it to go nonstop, especially after a few laps when you know you're out in clean air, and I started to get through traffic pretty decent, I thought, through the first half of the race. So, yeah, the reds and yellows were kind of nerve-wracking, and restarts are always kind of tricky at Knoxville. You get scared of getting split on that first corner, and luckily enough, I didn't see anybody or didn't get passed by Brooke or my dad or something like that. So, like I said, it was a great race.
Yeah, you see the white flag from Doug. Doug Clark is the starter there. Then you see the checkered flag. describe your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts from that moment when you crossed the line and you knew you did it through up to and through victory lane. What was that like for you, Austin?
It was amazing. It was a feeling I've dreamt of for so long and wanted so bad. And I've seen my dad do it a bunch of times and been a part of his victories and national prelim victories and 360 nationals victories. And you always dream of being the guy that's talking to Mike Roberts on the top step. And to finally get that feeling and to see Doug throw the checkered and you're the first guy to cross the line was honestly a big relief for me. I kind of joked and said, I think I'm going to sleep well for the first time in a really long time. It was just, I wanted it so bad, and it's all I've thought about for so long and worked so hard for it. And I've been given a great opportunity to drive for Troy and Tammy Renfro and Casey's General Stores. And you try to, when you're with a team like that, you're expected to win, and we weren't able to get it done last year, and we came close a few times, and I think we definitely had cars capable of winning. And so to get it out of the way, opening night, first race together with me and Troy for 2018, it was just it was a great night, and hopefully we can build upon it, and hopefully it's a sign of things to come for the rest of the summer.
Absolutely. Austin, you were close a number of times last year. In Victory Lane, you said last year you felt like you let one slip away. Was there one particular night that you did maybe let it slip away, but did you learn something? Was there something last year that maybe clicked or something you remember from that night that you weren't going to let happen again?
I just made one little mistake. I had one opportunity to probably to get the guy in front of me last year in traffic, and I just had one little bobble and one little mistake that I think really cost me at least my shot, at least my opportunity to get up next to him or have a chance. And it's kind of haunted me ever since. So I just didn't want to have that feeling again. And I kind of told myself those last couple of yellows and restarts to just really, really get a good restart. And I really did not want to lose. I was so determined. I just kept telling myself this is my night and I was going to win tonight, and it was my race. And as long as I took care of did my job, I knew I had a great car. And just trying not to make any mistakes, especially with that last restart. I knew it was green-white checkered, and basically a qualifying session at that point, especially when you're leading. You just try and make two of the best qualifying laps you can and hope you don't see anybody.
Indeed, no doubt about it. Now, third-generation racer, third-generation winner there at Knoxville. Okay, your dad doesn't like to lose at all. Your dad can't stand to lose. Was he at least a little bit better with a loss on Saturday night?
I think so. I wish he would have got the second. It would have been a pretty special night, but I don't want to get greedy. So, McCarl's on the podium is always a great thing, and yeah, I think he was pretty happy. I mean, he always says he would rather me and Carson won than him. So I don't know if that's necessarily true or not all the time, but
yeah.
No, it was a great night and a night I'll never forget.
Austin, how neat is it for you to have, like Steve mentioned, third-generation driver, but you have your mom and your dad at the track, your brother, your new wife. How neat is it for you to have all of your family right there and to be there for a big moment like that?
Oh, it's awesome. It's I mean, obviously racing is a very family-oriented sport, and this is obviously all I've grown up knowing how to do. It's what my dad does for a living, promotes, races, owns his own team. And so, I mean, I see all sides of the fence of this field, and racing is, like I said, what my family's done my whole life and my dad's whole life. And, so it's definitely in our blood and what we know. So to be able to do it as a family and to be successful at it is huge and very important to us and our family and our livelihood too. So it's a great feeling having your mom, and now my brother's in the 305 class, or I'm sorry, the 410 class racing against us. So my mom's got a pretty emotional feature there at the end of the night with all three of us racing against each other. She might have it a little bit easier this week with my dad going to Ohio, but she's definitely probably the toughest one in the pits and got the most to worry about. But I mean, it's exciting and it's awesome, especially when you get off the podium and your brother's there excited for you. And if you look in one of those victory lane photos, there's a ton of my friends and family in there, and that's all my family, really. I mean, I don't really have friends; they're all family to me. So I have great support and a great family, and I just try to take advantage of it.
I'll tell you what, it is great stuff. The McCarl family is good. And, hey, we saw the wedding photos and the video of your dad dancing. He better be able to promote racing and better be able to drive a race car. Dancing, he's not going to be the next Dancing with the Star guy.
He's broken both of his legs. I couldn't believe he did that.
I couldn't believe he did it either. And the problem of it is yeah.
there might have been a little alcohol motivation behind that. I'm not
Really? No, say it isn't so. I can't believe I watched it again. That was the problem I have. I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at me for watching that. So, Austin, so great. I'm telling you, when word got out, I was doing the race in Richmond. When word got out you won, it just was one of those happy moments. It really was. Congratulations, and typical racer. Now you got to go get that second one.
Yeah, really looking forward to next week, and thanks for having me on, guys.
There we go. Austin McCarl, he drove Troy and Tammy Renfro's number 2 KS to victory lane, and what a celebration that was.
Yeah, absolutely. And like he mentioned, to have all his family there and racing against him, what a night for him.
Doesn't get much better than that, that's for sure. Well, it could get much better when you do it twice in one weekend, and that's the story of Daryn Pittman. We'll talk to him next.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy, original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery, located in Greater Pittsburgh. Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing. Sage Fruit has been a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the last 15 years and a proud partner of Wing Nation for the last 3 years. We love sprint car racing, and we are there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
I'm Joey Saldana. Now back to Steve Post and Erin Evernham on Wing Nation.
Thank you, Joey. Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tire, and it's only a matter of time before Daryn Pittman rolls it into victory lane, and then he went and did it twice.
Yeah.
Oof. Picked up at the ditch and then down at I-50 or Peevely. Down at Peevely, and he joins us now on the hotline. Hello, Daryn. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, Steve, Erin. Hey, Erin. How are you guys?
We are doing well. How are you? The relief, the happiness, the long struggle that you guys have had. You've got to be a pretty happy camper right now.
I'm a lot happier than I was this time last Tuesday. That's for sure.
I'm sure.
It hasn't been a very friendly start to our season so far, and you know, truthfully, we won a couple last year, but last year was a pretty humbling year in itself. So, yeah, it was great to have a good weekend and really sort of out of nowhere, too, because we've been getting a little better. But, you know, I wouldn't have been placing Vegas odds on me to pick up a win, let alone split the weekend last weekend either. So we've been working hard, and our guys keep, you know, making changes and you know, really finally just hit on something that I felt comfortable with, and both nights we were had a car that was a lot of fun to drive.
Yeah, for sure. Daryn, you've been around the sport a long time, and we've talked to you a number of times about the emotions of the sport, the ups and downs, the highs and lows. You mentioned in Victory Lane that you're not done yet, and you talked about how you've questioned yourself even this year. How do you get past that? What do you work on yourself mentally to overcome that and keep your confidence up and keep yourself on your toes and on your game every night?
Well, it can get difficult because, you know, it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. What you've done recently tends to weigh on your, you know, on your mind a lot more than, you know, successes that you've had in years past. So when you know, go from, you know, really competing and really had some great years, 13, 14, 15, and really most of 16 as well, where felt like we were in contention to win, and top five were pretty normal for us. Start the season, you know, the first 10, 11 races, how many ever we ran, you know, no top fives, only probably 2 or 3 top 10s. you just wonder, I mean, how I'm still in the same car. I'm still with the same team. Our equipment's still, pretty much the same. So you just wonder, what's changed? How did I get this bad? What's happened? So you just really have to trust that, man, I didn't forget how to do this. There's just something missing. There's something wrong that I'm not comfortable with, and we're not able to, get the speed out of the car that we know it has. So you show up every night with a fresh mindset that, you can get the job done if circumstances go your way, and if we can get the car that, can get the driver comfortable, that I can go out there and do my job. And it can get difficult, but that's the best part about it is we race enough, and we haven't raced that much this year with rain, but we've raced way more than anybody else, so that we can put the past behind us and show up every night with a fresh outlook, and hope that the changes that they've made from race to race, finally pay off.
Daryn, I had a chance on Saturday evening in Richmond. This is before the Peevely race, but after the race at Riverside, to talk to Casey backstage before the driver introductions at the NASCAR race. And he shared with me the last month or so, I mean, you guys have tried multiple cars, multiple things. In fact, you drove the 542 miles for Port Royal to try some stuff. Can you describe some of the struggle that you've and some of the things that you guys have been going through to get to this point where you're finally back hopefully at the top of the game where you want to be?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of all stems back to last year. We just couldn't get going very good, and brought Justin Adams on right before the Nationals, and got running a lot better. We won 3 races, and they were actually fairly close to each other. They were probably within 6 or 7 races of each other. So got running well, and basically we were still looking to get better, and as you always are, and looking towards the future. And so we tried a different car out in California last year. It didn't work out well for us. It just kind of put us back a little bit, and by the time we got back east to finish up the season, we went back to cars that we were comfortable with, and as always, we get together and think we can make things better. And so we we basically modified that car a little bit over the wintertime and unloaded at Volusia at a track that's really one of KKR's strong suits, and struggled all 5 nights at Volusia, really struggled a lot. So we did change cars and went back to a version of our last year's car for the West Coast, and had some ups and downs with it. Felt like we were definitely making some gains on it, and actually started to run pretty decent our last few races with it at Bakersfield, and at Arizona. Was actually running in our first top 5 at Arizona when got together and ended up crashing and falling out. But we actually ended up hurting that car. So we basically decided we needed to find out where we were at. So we got our Volusia car back out, and we were going to run it at Hobstadt and Jacksonville, and both those rained out. So when we got the chance to go to Port Royal, we jumped at it to basically see where we were at, and when we went there, we just weren't very good either. We felt exactly like we did in Volusia, and realized that obviously the changes that we made to our race cars over the winter just didn't work for my liking, and so we were able to scrap basically what they had worked over the winter time to build, and just got one of our cars down from last year, and this was our first race on it this weekend. So all within the same manufacturer. It's all stuff that we've changed ourselves, thinking that would be the right direction, and some of those minor changes just don't translate well from, I guess, our heads to on the racetrack.
Fascinating stuff. Yeah. It really is. And unfortunately, the clock on the wall says we got to say goodbye, or we could talk about it all day long. But Daryn, it is so great to talk to you after trips to Victory Lane. And hopefully we'll be doing that on a regular basis. Now, congratulations and best of luck in Texas this week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Hopefully we can keep it going. But always good to be on.
There we go. That is Daryn Pittman, an upbeat, happy Daryn Pittman. And it's great stuff. That is fascinating to me how you...
I know. I was ready to start asking more questions.
I know. Oh, the engineer in you.
Not that he probably would have told me too much.
Well, Daryn will tell you. He wouldn't tell me anything. He'd tell you. Hey, let's step away. When we come back, we've got more MRN's Wing Nation.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt late model have taken the checkered flag on Weld Racing Wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld Racing Wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld Racing Wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing. Proven speed.
O'Reilly.
Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store for O'Reilly Universal Pre-Mixed Antifreeze and Coolant for only $6.99 a gallon. Protect your engine from overheating with O'Reilly Universal Pre-Mixed Antifreeze and Coolant, now $6.99 a gallon at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 27th year. Whether you're catching the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour at tracks like Williams Grove, Skagit Speedway, Knoxville Raceway, Lucas Oil Speedway, or any of the 6 regional tours across the United States, you'll find the ASCS Nation racing at a track near you. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Then see the full schedule, track-by-track history, updates, and more at ASCSRacing.com.
I'm Paul McMahon. One has a degree in engineering, the other has a degree in beer consumption. Science, figure out who has which. Wing Nation on MRN.com.
There we go. The one and only Paul McMahon. I think I resemble that remark. So, welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Time to talk a little Sprint Car Hall of Fame birthday calendar. Dick Akins, Bob Berman yesterday. Tomorrow, Arthur Chevrolet would have had a birthday. Earl Baltus, George Tatnall coming up this weekend, Ed Shepard, Lewis Rusty Espinosa, Jerry Carl. But today, how about this one? 63 years young, Kenny Jacobs.
The Mouse.
The Mouse. Yes, indeed. A 2007 inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. And his father, Pete, when he was about 10 years old, built Wayne County, which is where the All-Stars raced last week. He's a 4-time All-Star champ, 97 wins. But he's had some big wins beyond that. In 1984, it was the historic big one. In it might have been 94. I got my notes wrong here. 1980, I have 1964 here, and I don't think that was the case. 1988, he won the National Open at Williams Grove. That made all the Posse fans happy, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, indeed. 2005, the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, the Front Row Challenge in 2006, and above and beyond that, he's just an all-around good guy.
Absolutely.
I mean, incredible. And he also gave us Kendra.
Yes.
And we love that as well.
Yes.
So Kendra's dad's birthday is today. Kenny Jacobs, 63 years young.
Great guy. I love Kenny.
He is the best. He is fantastic. So great stuff. Hey, Sprint Car Hall of Fame, www.sprintcarhof.com, sprintcarhof.com, and the fundraising continues for the Brian Clausen Tower. So you can still get involved with that or go to their gift shop. Oh my gosh, their gift shop. And if you don't see anything there you want for yourself, buy me something. Because everything there I like. Just send it to the postman. Yeah, indeed. Erin, this week is great because we get midweek racing.
Yes.
Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, it's going to be a happy dance at my house.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. Well, we won't.
Please don't video that.
No, we won't video that. I'm not like Terry McCarl. I don't need to see that. Or nobody needs to see that. Cotton Bowl Speedway, this is a makeup one. Okay, so going to be good. This coming weekend, and we'll talk more about this on Thursday, but this coming weekend, we've got the big one at Mansfield, $100,000 to win. And the World of Outlaws are going back to where it all began, the Devil's Bowl.
Yeah,
so
big weekend.
We have got a huge weekend coming up. We've got a huge summer coming up.
Yep.
Okay. Ashley Stremme and I are going to go to the Weikert Memorial at Port Royal. That's Memorial Day weekend. 2 weeks later, you and I are going to the Jackson Nationals.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. We had more fun up there with our friends from the Minnesota Mafia.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. The Agco Jackson Nationals. And then, of course, August, the Marion County Fairgrounds. We're going to tear that place apart. Well, I don't know about that. It'll probably tear us apart. It's tore a lot of people apart.
Or our producer, Craig, maybe.
Yes, it's tore a bunch of people apart, indeed. Yes, indeed. So it is the Knoxville Nationals, and we're doing that as well. So we're looking forward to getting out to the racetrack and catching up. And if you see us at the racetrack, make sure you flag us down and say, hey, we just have a ball when we get out the track, and it's getting closer and closer to that time. I got a great summer. I got some other trips, private trips I'm doing too.
Oh.
Yes, indeed. Good
Fancy.
stuff. Hey, we appreciate Austin McCarl joining us and Daryn Pittman for joining us as well. But more important than all of that, and I know we say it every week, but we sincerely mean it, thank you for joining us here on MRN's Wing Nation.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires and by Grunt Style. Wing Nation can be found on demand at MRN.com, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.